Fill your thirst beside the river. Wash the journey from your hands. Feel the comfort flow inside you. Come this far, you understand.
Hi, welcome to Healing Outside the Box. I'm your host, Rosemary LaChance, a spiritual healer, advisor, and teacher.
And I'm your co-host for tonight, Carla Augustin, and I'm also a spiritual teacher.
Tonight we are continuing our Life Explained series, which will give you food for thought information about spirituality based on the teachings of Hans Wilhelm from his Life Explained series. We will play one or two different DVDs and then have dialogue about it. We encourage you to call or email us or write to NHTV with questions, and we will answer them on the show or privately if you prefer. This is not a religious show, and no matter what religion you believe or follow, the information we give you will only enhance your beliefs. We do not try to convince you of anything. This series is recorded and will be shown in your area on your local public service cable network. Please contact them for dates and times.
If you have a group that you think would be interested in what we have to offer, we are available to come to your group and teach from this series. We will give you our contact information at the end of the show. Please visit Rosemary's or Hans's website, where you'll find a wealth of information about our show and this series. Our shows are now available for you to watch on YouTube for free. Just go on YouTube and type in Healing Outside the Box to make your choices. We're constantly adding new shows, so please keep checking back. Now, we are also on Facebook under Healing Outside the Box. Please like our page for the latest information about our show, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's show.
Okay, the title of tonight's show is Wealth, Fame, and Power, and it is show number 231. And as soon as they play the DVD in the control room, we will have dialogue about it. We only have one tonight because this is a longer one, 10 minutes long. Okay, thank you. That light doesn't work on that camera.
Hi, I'm Ansile. Today I would like to show you the spiritual dynamic behind our passion for fame, power and riches. This video is especially addressed to the young audience because they are most seriously endangered to be manipulated and exploited. And they usually have no idea why this is done and by whom. In my video, The Luciferian Doctrine, I briefly mentioned that there are souls in this world who have turned demonic and who want us to fall for the lure of money, fame and fortune. And the reason for this is always energy. It is a fierce battle for energy and survival.
As I mentioned many times before, we come here to Earth for several reasons, but mainly to grow and to undo our past karmic burdens. But as a child of God, we are also here to be like God, which means to express the unlimited, unconditional and selfless love of God. And that is our true nature and also our purpose in this lifetime. So when it comes to our future, our career or our work, our innate choice is to find a field where we can serve others in one way or another. It does not need to be a grand thing like saving mankind or finding medical cures for millions. It can be a very humble activity like being there for our family or just for one person or even an animal. The main thing is that our goal in life is not just the comfort and safety of our own bloated ego, the me, but for something that is larger than ourselves and serves others. That is the selfless love which we are made of in action. And that is also where happiness can be found. Some of you may know the famous words by the Nobel Peace Prize laureate Albert Schweitzer when he addressed the class of young students. He said, "I don't know what your destiny will be, but one thing I know, the only ones among you who will be really happy are those who will have sought and found how to serve." This does not mean that making lots of money, having fame and power cannot make one happy. They can, but only if they come as an unintended byproduct and are not our main goal in life. So why is our society so obsessed with the rich and famous if that is not the goal for our soul? As I've outlined in my videos of The Luciferian Doctrine, Evil and Spirit Possession, There is a powerful army of rebellious souls or negative astral entities who need energy to survive. These fallen souls have totally exhausted their own energy potential and have since developed many schemes to steal these life energies from us humans. And one of their favorite targets are young people because of their vulnerability. Here is a typical example. Their first step is to influence the feeling and thinking of a young person. They do this through the law of attraction and find someone who already has some form of low self-esteem. They then inject reinforcing thoughts into their mind. A typical thought is, "I am not enough." This thought gets intensified every time this young teenager now compares himself with his siblings, his friends, his community, or TV or internet porn sites, where he sees others who seem to be better off than he is. They are looking better, are thinner, more fashionable, more popular, and so on. In addition, he is manipulated by the number of likes on Facebook and other internet social networks. This vicious thought circle closes around this teenager tighter and tighter until he loses all his self-esteem, becomes totally self-absorbed, anxious, depressed, hopeless, and even suicidal. Typical symptoms are the variety of eating disorders and in some cases self-mutilation like cutting or tearing out the hair. As we know, everything is vibration, and the suffering that this young person is going through is oozing out a powerful vibration that these negative astral beings feed off. So the more he suffers, the more attractive he becomes to these entities. This is a very cruel scenario. But this is only the first step. The next step is that this young person feels like having a big emotional hole in himself that desperately needs filling. This is where often recreational drugs come in, as they are giving the temporary feeling of empowerment, escape, or relaxation. His intense craving for approval can also lead to promiscuity and other vices. All of this is vibrational food for the unseen negative entities, the rebellious souls. As this young person with his extremely low self-esteem watches the celebrities in the media, he may also come to the conclusion that if he would have lots of money, or fame, or power, he no longer would be unhappy because he would then be admired by all the people whose approval he craves. He hopes his inner emotional hole would finally be filled and he would be happy ever after. That is exactly what these negative entities want him to believe, because now he has left his original divine calling of coming here to earth to love and to serve. From now on, it's all about becoming rich or famous or super powerful as fast as possible. For this young person, it now is all about wealth and celebrity, to win the love and respect of others with bling and buzz. Being bombarded with images of the super rich, the super powerful, the Kardashians and the like, he is now determined to become like them because he is still driven by the same original message, "I am not enough." But as we know, for most young and even older persons, this is an unattainable dream. Sooner or later, the sobering reality sets in, and when that happens, the person feels like a complete failure. The "I have failed" together with self-loathing and self-hating is exactly what the negative entities want him to feel. Again, these vibrations are energy food for them, and the longer he will stay in this state of despair and self-pity, the better for them. It is all manipulated. This feeling of failure was pre-planned by them. But not everybody fails. There are quite a few people who are very determined and actually achieve the outlandish riches, the fame and power. How is it possible? Again, in many cases, this is purposely fostered by these demonic forces. They cleverly and constructively assist these high achievers to reach their goals. They make it happen for them to meet the right people, the perfect environment, and so on. But nothing is for free. It is a Faustian bargain, a pact with the devil. Because eventually, these demonic entities will demand compensation for their services, and that usually means servitude for their souls in the afterlife. But sooner or later, these high achievers will realize that all their riches, their fame, and their power does not fill their inner hole. So they hope that more of it might do it. But it is never enough. If 1 million is not enough, neither will be 10 millions or 100 million. So they are driven by unbridled greed, which is more, more, more. But nothing fills that inner bottomless pit. And the eventual result is total burnout or collapse. Again, it is a feeling of complete failure, as the old message, "I am not enough," has been pushing them all the time. All of this is carefully planned and manipulated by those who now keep on feeding on these juicy energies of defeat and self-loathing. This is the typical life of any addict. The only escape out of this vicious circle is to stop and remember that these negative forces are defenseless against the source of all life, against God or Christ. They are the abundance, the fullness of life, and the only medicine to heal the inner hole. Nothing is stronger than that. And once we make the decision and ask for help and truly surrender to these divine powers of heavens, then help will be given to us to restore us back to sanity if we do our steps like asking for forgiveness and making amends. That is what the members of any AA program learn as they are encouraged to recognize this higher power, to listen to that higher power and allow God or Christ to inspire them in their journey of recovery. This is the path to freedom, back home, back to love. If you are interested to see how our young generation is purposely corrupted with the false ideals of wealth, fame, and power, you may find the documentary Generation Wealth on Amazon very informative.
In my video, I've outlined the problem with a very broad brushstroke. I'm fully aware that there are exceptions. There are wealthy, powerful, and famous people who are using their resources for the good and benefit of others. Money, fame, and power in themselves are not the problem. It is our addiction to them that can destroy us. A soul that is addicted to the privileges that power, fame, and riches bring often arrives after death in the spiritual world as an impoverished soul who will have great difficulties to adjust in a world where these aspects have no meaning at all. Thank you for watching.
Okay, that was really powerful, wasn't it?
Yeah, that really was.
Wow.
I mean, with all that's going on with young people especially.
Yeah.
And I think every age group, more people seem to be more
true.
depressed and
The way things are in the world
unhappy.
today,
It's hard.
you know, it's you say, why is there such a battle now when this happened 2,000 years ago with Christ? It's such a battle now because things are getting worse in the world. It's the time when we're going to have, God wants us to come home, all right?
Right.
And a lot of things are happening in the world, the catastrophes and this and the other. We don't know how long it's going to be. Christ is going to be taking over the world again and so forth and so on. So they're in a fierce battle to get as many souls as they can to listen to them and to go to hell, quote unquote. There's no such hell, but there is a place where they control things for a while, but it's not everlasting, burning, and stay there forever thing. It's just a place where you're going to go with people of like mind are going to drive you crazy. So, and everybody's going to drive everybody crazy.
Right.
So they want the power. That's what it is. They want the power.
Okay, so that's what the fierce battle for energy and survival is. It's the negative entities surviving.
Yes.
And they need the energy coming from basically like-minded, like-feeling, law of attraction people.
They know they can't destroy us. You know, in our previous shows, we talked about how she wanted to destroy everything so she could take it over.
Right.
Well, that's done. Can never do that. So they want to make this earth a place where they can keep people coming back all the time, incarnating only on because they're doing things that are not right. They have to keep coming back. And they're bad, and they pick up more karma, and it's a never-ending thing. But it's not going to happen that way because one day we won't be able to come back.
We won't be able to come back, yeah. So what exactly, though, does the demonic need energy?
To keep going.
I mean,
We have
like,
energy.
That's their life force.
Yeah,
Is that it?
right. That's their life force.
Oh,
God
right.
sends energy down every day, and like I think
didn't
I
know
said
that.
that. Yeah, around 4 o'clock in the morning is when it's the strongest.
Right. Right.
And that's why people always feel a little better when they wake up in the
Yes.
morning if they've had a good night's sleep. You get that energy. That's why the birds sing at dawn and things like that. The energies are coming in, the good energies, okay? And of course the demons can't absorb that good energy. You know, so what energy they get from when we start acting bad and negative and doing negative things.
So you're saying the only reason we survive is because God sends down energy
Oh, yeah.
every day.
Sure.
It's not just we eat, we sleep, we breathe air.
Well,
We need energy.
the body, yeah, we do. That's a reason to stay. That's how we survive. But I mean, the energy keeps us on the path, keeps us good, keeps us,
Oh, all right.
You know what I'm saying? The energy
Okay.
keeps us from
Yeah.
you know.
yeah.
And those of us who
Going
are
off course,
yeah, and
right.
open. But the people who are not open, the people who don't have a belief in God and a belief in all that's good and goodness, they can't absorb the energy like the people who do.
All right.
They can't absorb it that much, so that's why they keep on
Because
doing
they're
these
closed
things. Yeah.
off to it.
Right, and the minute they open to it, they can have it, you know?
All right. So is that why demonic forces only take negative energy? Because they're demonic and negative? They can't accept
They can't get the other energy.
God's energy. They
no.
can't get that.
No.
So how do they, though, exhaust their own energy, as he says? You know, just existing here in the supernatural?
Energy only lasts for a
Daily?
while. That's why the earth is replenished every day, okay? They don't get replenished every day. So they have to get their replenishing from humans who act the way they act. So when you're not being nice and you're doing terrible things, remember, you're giving that energy to the negative demons and the negative entities who are our brothers and sisters still, but they're so in the dark. They don't see it, they don't know it, they don't understand it.
Yeah.
And they only survive off our negative energies. So do you want to support God or do you want to support a demon? It's up to you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah. All right. All right. So I don't really understand how they steal, though, someone's energy. So they're up against someone who's not nice that day or, you know, is a very negative person and feeling sad, depressed, whatever they're feeling. And then how do they steal it, though?
Okay, they don't. You have to use that word steal loosely.
Okay.
It's not that they steal. It's just stealing means taking something without our consent. Right?
Okay.
That's what they do. That's what stealing means from us. They're taking our energy without our consent. If we knew they were sucking that energy, we wouldn't let them have it. So they have to
Right.
steal it. That's all that means. Steal the
Okay.
energy means taking it without our consent. We don't go, here, demon, here I am, take some energy from me. No, we don't have any idea. So they steal it, and we don't even realize it's happening. That's what that steal means.
Okay. So they're
You got that? Yeah.
literally just somehow
Yeah,
like
when
like
you
a
give off,
sponge or
like
something
attracts like,
taking our
yeah, like attracts
taking our
like.
energy.
And when they get that energy, and when we're emanating that energy, they can take that. Because they don't want the good stuff. They want the bad stuff.
All right.
And they want people, you know, like we said and we had in those books, alcohol, drugs, killing, murdering, slandering, all those things, all negative energy. And they just, to them, it's like power. It's like,
It just feels great.
yeah, a milkshake.
Yeah, it
you
feels
know?
great. It feels great to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so he says we are here to, well, one, work out our karma, and two, to be like God, to be selfless, and to serve others. So when it comes to a career, he said, if you feel happy doing it, then you are serving others in your career. So talk about that a little bit and give some examples. I mean, a teacher's obvious, you know what I mean? If you're teaching, you're helping people to learn. But say other professions, like say an accountant or, you know,
Yeah, I
a
know.
dancer or, you
I can
know, how are they
understand.
serving others?
I can understand. Well, an accountant is serving others by helping them with their taxes, with their finances, whatever. A dancer is serving others by giving them entertainment. Every profession has something,
To offer.
yeah, to offer. But it's how you look at it. Do I want to be a dancer because I want to give this beauty to people, or I want to be a dancer because I want to be rich and famous and have everybody wishing they were me and oogling. So every single job The accountant might say, I want to get more and more people, and oh, maybe there's this gangster that I can take care of his books. He's going to give me a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? It's the way we think about it in our heads.
Okay.
Are we doing it because we want to help people? Every profession, you can help people in every single way, no matter what you do. If you're working in a factory and you're building cars, if you're making sure every part is good and every part is right and everything's inspected and everything is nice.
You're taking care of people,
right.
really. You're giving them a nice, safe car.
Yeah, everything, every single thing you do well, you're giving and helping people. But if you're only doing it because, you know, I don't like this job, I want to get out of here and get home, I want to have a beer and I want to sit around and I don't care. Who cares about the people? That kind of attitude.
Then you probably aren't happy.
No,
you don't leave work, you're not proud of your work,
right.
You're not happy about what you're doing.
And slip-ups happen and things happen and whatever, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Every profession is a giving profession. No,
It's a
depends
nice way
on
of
how you look at it.
How people look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I had my health food store, I wanted that because I wanted to teach people about natural medicine. When we picked the show, we wanted to teach people about spirituality and other forms of healing. Those were my motives. Never going to be rich and famous doing this because we don't make a penny. It's just a work of our hearts. We do it because of our. You do your show because of your heart.
Right.
We want to help people. We want to give people back things, and that's all we do it.
Right.
So even if if you have to make money, then each profession that you have, like I just said, it's a giving. If you look at it that way.
Right. All right. So when we talk about serving others, it's not necessarily meaning volunteering.
No.
It can mean just with your work every day. What are some other ways that we don't think about, but we are serving others? You know, say not in a career. You know, what are some other kinds of ways to serve? So just to waken us all up to what serving others means.
Well, there's people who, even though they have a job, after work, they teach kids how to play different kind of sports games. People go
Just
out and
for
coach
fun,
little
right.
leagues. People, our caregiver, the lady next door, is in a wheelchair and she has a caregiver, but she likes some company, so I think I'll go over and
you
sit
keep
with her.
company, yeah.
There's little things you can do
Little
all
things.
the time. Yeah, that's a way. A mother who teaches her children to do the right thing and say, no, you don't hit them. You give your love. You give your teaching them they're always the right, the goodness, the way. You're constantly serving God. Every loving thing you do, every selfless thing you do, whether you get paid or you don't get paid. That's the way to do it.
That's the way.
That's
That's
it.
the way to live. That's right.
That's how to live.
That's how we're supposed to live.
And with that, you get even more energy, and you're more supported by the angels and the heavens for that. Don't think it goes unnoticed, because it doesn't go unnoticed.
You know, Hans mentions in his video the quote by Albert Schweitzer: "Those that are truly happy sought and found how to serve." Do you think that that's all it takes to be happy? Or is there
no.
more to it? There's more to it, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I mean, because people can love their job and their life's a
That's
mess.
nice.
Yeah, but their life's a mess, you know,
Right.
their relationships
But if
are a
you
mess, but they love
can't,
their
if
work.
you don't love your job, you really should look for another job,
Right.
because you're not doing anyone any good. You're not going to be happy. You're going to be miserable. You're going to go home miserable. You're going to take it out on your family. You're going to take it out on your employees.
Say, do you think you can sort of like make it up in another way? So say for whatever reason you're in a situation, you really can't leave your job. You hate your job, you want to leave it someday, but you really can't leave it right now because you need the money. So you could serve others in a different way. You hate your job, but you could get fulfillment and right.
could do that
you know,
until-
you could feel until the time. I mean, I think there's always a way, don't
Yes,
you?
get
You
the
know?
ball rolling about looking
there's
for
no
something
rules,
else.
But it's like always a way, kind of get the ball rolling and just go find another way that makes you feel good. That that you're serving
But if you're
others.
miserable at your job, you're going to take that misery on the other thing you find to do. That's really what happens. A lot of people, when they get married, they want to live very high. They want to have the house and the car and a certain amount of money and the this and the that and then the other. And so they sacrifice for that. Okay? Downsize if you must. Just downsize a little bit.
Right.
So you don't have to bring in so much money so you can get that job that you love. You should all try to get something that and do what you love to do if you can.
Right.
And if not, then get a job in the serving position of some kind. God knows there's many jobs like that out there. They don't pay a lot, no, but they pay benefits in other ways. And if you can't make it, you can find ways to raise money to get another part-time job or something like that. Just open your mind and pray and ask for some help.
Yes.
And you'd be surprised. Something will pop up.
It does. God will always answer
Yeah.
your prayers.
If you're honest and sincere, you will.
It will. Your prayers will be answered.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when your goal really is, your driving force really is to serve others, then nothing's going to be put in your way.
No.
You know, you're going to be successful at that.
Yeah.
And if you can't figure it out what you want to do, again, like you say, just ask.
Just ask.
Yeah,
We
just
think
ask.
that, you know, it's all on us.
Right, we do. We
We
don't
always
realize,
think
we think we're so alone.
Yeah, we
and
do.
nobody can help.
It's a me, me,
and,
me world,
you
and
know.
people are out there so busy trying to prove there's no God, there's no heaven, there's no nothing,
Right.
and that's depressing, because if this is all there is, people want to slit their throats. For some people, no, because they're rich and they're powerful and they're beautiful and they're this and that and the other. But for people who won't have all that, they don't feel the same way. But people who don't have all that, if they have that faith and belief in God and the love in their hearts, they are just as rich as the people who have real, actual money. And if you don't believe me, go out and find someone who has it, right? And that will tell you. Start talking to
Right.
people. See what they do. Find out. You know, see somebody, what? Could you tell me what your secret? You seem so happy. And you'd be surprised what they'll share
What
with
they'll
you.
say.
Yeah.
What they'll say to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Really, start opening up, start
Ask
looking
people.
for it.
Ask people. What do you love about your job?
Right. And if
And
they
see
say
what
they
they
don't,
say.
and then you say, well, are you doing anything? Are you getting something else? Or what would you love? And you'd be surprised what that kind of conversation will do. We're our brother's keeper. We can help them, and then somebody will come along and help us,
Help us too.
you know, especially in today's world, you know, so.
I like how Hans mentions people like Schweitzer, or like he mentions the Luciferian doctrine, because then I go and I look them up. Like I really didn't know who. I mean, I've heard the name Albert Schweitzer, but I can't say like it immediately came to mind who he was.
Exactly thing he did, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, Googled him, and he does have great quotes. So one of the quotes he said was, "Do something wonderful, people may imitate it." And I thought,
That's nice.
well, would you consider that a way of serving others? I
Sure.
mean, in a way it is. I didn't know if that was too much of a stretch, but I thought, no, I think just, you know, pay it forward.
Pay it forward,
You know,
yeah.
do something small, put coins in somebody's parking meter.
Yeah,
You know,
that
let
used
somebody
to-
go first in line
Yeah.
if they seem in a hurry.
Those little things.
Those little things also are all about serving
Right.
serving
And
others.
people who are struggling with money and have those little concerns, they can do these little things. They
Right.
can, a few
You
pennies, or
don't
letting
need
somebody
much
get
money.
ahead of them, or little,
Right.
like you just said, the little small things, you can still do
little
that.
small
Be
things are
happy. It's
so
your
important.
outlook and your attitude.
Well, you open up your heart.
Yeah.
You know, when you open up your heart, you're looking for avenues and ways to actually give.
Yeah.
You know,
And it'll come
to
back.
serve others. You know,
You'll
to
get the
learn
help
to
that
do
you
it.
need.
and you get the help
When you
need
want to do,
too.
if you just pray, I really would like to help and serve, you'll find the ways. You got to have faith and belief. I don't know how to stress that. You just have to. Because
Right.
when it's all said and done,
Just go for it. Just try it.
Yeah.
Like, just try it. Just take the baby steps.
Yeah.
Try reaching out, you know, to God, the heavens. Just reach out and say, I need help with this. You know, I need help to find a new job. I need help in my relationships. I need help to figure out how to be happy. I need help. Just start with what you know.
Exactly.
You know, just start with what you know. If you don't know why
Perfect.
you're not happy, just say, I don't know why I'm not happy. I want to be happy.
Tell
How
me,
do I
please
get there?
tell me,
How
help
do I
me,
get
tell me.
there?
And then listen.
Yeah.
Be quiet
Be
and
quiet
listen.
and
Be quiet.
listen to the inner voice.
Go sit by the ocean. Go to the woods and walk. Keep your mind quiet and wait for the answers to come. Okay? Just sit quietly and wait.
The
Meditate
guidance
if you
will
can
come.
meditate, you know, but spend those quiet times
Right.
by yourself when you can listen for the answers. Because they're talking to us all the time, but we can't hear them.
And start by being good to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, start by loving yourself. So
Oh, yeah,
do
that's so
love
important.
yourself. Do eat well. Do try to get your rest. Do try to be with positive people. Do try, you know, just taking care of yourself first, because you really do need to you need to have that in order to give to other people. I mean,
See, what happens is a person has a low self-esteem. They get married, they have children, they teach their children low self-esteem. They take it out on them. You're not good enough. No, you didn't do that right. Demanding more and more and more. Only because they were raised that way.
Right.
Then that child will grow up, get married, and do the same thing to their child until one day one person says, enough. I realize what my mother did to me, saying all these things to me. I am not going to pass it on to my children. I am going to praise them, blah, blah, blah. And maybe I don't feel it myself because of the old tapes in my head, but I'm not going to pass it on to my children. And then it stops.
Yeah.
You stopped it. And then they get better. And if you feel that way and you're young and you want, go get help. Get professional help for it. Really get professional help. You need it. And there's professional help that won't cost a lot. Or talk to friends, or find someone who's happy and talk to them. Do whatever you can do. If you sincerely and honestly want help, just pray about it. Send me a way to find the help that I need, because this is wrong. And he's right about people wanting to cut themselves, and that's why they take drugs. That's why they drink. Those are all forms of escapism from life, because they feel so bad and they don't think they deserve anything. It's true, and it comes in all kinds of ways.
Right. I mean, the grass always looks greener on the other side. So anybody, when you're down, anybody's life looks good to you, not even the rich and famous. I mean, just anybody seems like they got, she's lucky, she's got a great job, I don't. She's lucky, she's got, a nice boyfriend, I don't. She's, you know what I mean? And so it's always, if you play that game, if you get caught up in that, there's just no winning. There's always somebody with something more than what you have. I mean, even the rich and the famous, there's always someone richer and more famous, or more powerful.
Find your happiness in your little world. Find your happiness and then take that and open it up and spread it out to the people.
Right.
And talk to people and make them understand. You were like that once. Okay, I want to help somebody now. And do that.
Right.
Start classes. I don't know. Anything.
Anything, yeah.
Talk. Anything. Write a book. Write it up on Facebook or at least social media. Nice things, not this arguing that goes on all the time there, but nice things. Say nice things and put it out there. There's so many ways.
There's so much. There's so much. All right, so he does clarify you can be happy with money, fame, or power if that's the end product, not the main goal. So what about if you grew up, say you grew up without material things, you were on the poor side, and you just sort of always vowed, oh, someday I'm going to make it, I'm going to make money, I'm going to, because you're motivated. I mean, you're very motivated, and I mean, you set that goal to make money, and you do. I mean, aren't we all driven by different things? I mean, it's okay. I guess what I'm trying to distinguish, it's okay to say, I want to achieve, or I want to make money, or I want,
he even said that. Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay.
You can be happy with that.
That's right.
It's just if you don't actually serve others while doing it, if you become
while you're young and you're getting your education to do the things that you want to do, you may not have time. But once you get there and you achieve your goal, make sure that you use
that back.
Yeah, to give back.
All right, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
then.
oh, definitely. You can't be doing it constantly. It can't be constantly on your mind, but it's the end result.
The end result. And even as you go, are you good to people on your
along
rise
the way.
up? Are you along the way? Are you fair to the people that work for you? Are you, just...
Or your workmates, so do you cheat behind their back? Do you stab them in the back? Do you say nasty things about them so you can get ahead and they'll think bad about you? Do you do all these things? Well, someday it's going to happen to you.
So
goes around, comes around.
That's selling your soul.
Yeah.
All right. So it seems like a simple solution. If you're not happy, then you figure out how to serve. But the problem seems to be so many of us can't figure that out, just don't know how to figure that out.
How to serve?
Yeah, how to serve, or how to recognize what the source of the real abundance is, I guess. You know, the real abundance is God. And so if we have this thing that we think the abundance is all the money I can make, all the power and fame I can have, that's a false sense of abundance, right? That's the problem. So even people that, I mean, you see it in interviews, people that have made it really, really big and always thanking God, always knowing the gift came from God, always know they were blessed by God. So big difference, thinking I did this all on my own, or
you inherited it.
well, where'd you get the abundance, right?
Why do people have to live in a mansion? Why do they need a house with 10 bedrooms for a 4-bedroom, for a family, 4 people in the family? Why do they need all that land? Why did, you're taking it above and beyond what you need to be comfortable and happy and still have enough money to enjoy life. That's what he's talking about, okay? If you're CEO of a big corporation and you make a lot of money, but what do you take away from people doing that? And how much money do you need? And do you need this? Look around the things you have. Okay, it's nice. You can have a nice boat. You can have what that you want and enjoy life and do that. But what's your motivation? Once you've gotten it and you enjoy it, okay, do you really enjoy it all the time? Can you do something with it? What can I do with all that I have to give back? That should be your thing every day when you wake up. If you're very rich, that's what you should think. If you're medium rich, you still should think, what can I do today
if you're a
to
little
give
rich,
back?
You still should.
That's right.
If you're not rich at all, you still should.
You got the message. That's right.
No matter what you have,
exactly.
That's the thing, you should.
A little person can, remember that story about, what was it, Christ was saying, they were donating, and he said, I know a woman who only gave two pennies. And he said to him, what's 2 pennies? And he said, that was all she had.
Yeah.
That is I got goosebumps. That's a wonderful lesson.
It's a wonderful.
So no matter who you are, where you are on this ladder of success,
you can always give.
You find the people on the streets who have nothing, who live in shelters or live in these tents or whatever, the poor homeless people of America. They are the most helpful. When they've done TV shows where people who are aware and try to help, they go and they give them. They bring him a meal. I remember different things. One of them, they brought him a meal. And, he said, this is wonderful. And he had 3 hamburgers. He took one out and gave it to him. He didn't say, I want to hug you there. He gave it to the man who gave him the thing. I mean, that's beautiful, That really is. Somebody gave somebody some shoes, and he went and found somebody who needed shoes too, and he gave him his shoes, even though he had to go barefoot again. Those people, you find some real angels among those people. You really do. So don't ever look down on them.
No.
That's a way of giving back.
Yeah.
And these people are so grateful. And they're not selfish. And a lot of them are really angels in disguise who are there so that people can do these things.
I think so too.
Yeah, they are angels.
I think so.
Yep, you never know when you're going to
Definitely
meet an angel.
Us, yeah, and you don't know when you'll be someone's angels.
That's right.
So Hans says that young people are vulnerable and easily targeted by negative entities who can influence what someone is thinking and feeling. And through the law of it, a couple things I didn't understand here, but through the law of attraction, they find someone with low self-esteem. Does the negative entity have low self-esteem? Because I would think they're like very narcissistic, the negative entity, So through the law of attraction, they find someone with low self-esteem. Well, is it the low self-esteem that's attracting them, or it's just the negativity of what low self-esteem is?
Yeah.
It's the
it's negativity of what low self-esteem. What they can do with someone who has it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then he says, this I really didn't understand. They send thoughts like, I'm not good enough. Well, how can they do this? It seems to go against free will. How can they send thoughts to you when they know you're down, and then they'll send even more down thoughts to you to make you even more down? Like, how can they do that? It just seems against your free will.
No, it's not against your free will. It's against your free will, yes, so to speak. But what it is that I don't know, if you ever got into kind of a depressing mood and all these thoughts come to you, Oh, I didn't do that right. I'm not good enough. I should have done better. I should have. Those are the thoughts they're sending to you. Okay? When you're down, they're going to get you
But how
down
can they
further.
send them? You know, like how can they send them to you and you pick it up? Do you know what I mean? It just seems like
Didn't you
they're
ever?
interfering with your free
Okay.
will, kind
What?
of.
No.
No?
They don't.
I'm
They're
not
sending
getting
it. It's up to you. Your free will to choose it or not choose it.
Choose the thought.
Yeah. Choose to listen to the thought.
So it's a temptation. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if someone puts a $100 bill in front of you and you're tempted to
You're
take
saying,
it.
you know,
Yeah.
he dropped that. Should I
Should I
run
tell him?
after
Should I
him?
take
Should I
it?
take it?
Yeah.
And they'll say, get away.
Yeah.
Don't tell him. What are you, crazy? And
Right.
your angel will say, give it back. You know. Or
Right.
you must have had things where you run out of the house and all of a sudden you forgot something. All of a sudden a voice will say, you forgot your hat or something. And oh yeah, and you go back. Who do you think told you that?
Okay.
You think it just came out of your own head? No, because you weren't thinking of it.
Right.
Our angels are around us all the time helping us when we're
So there's
positive.
the good help and
we
the
can
bad
hear.
help.
Yeah,
So
they
there's
have,
the, I mean, it's not
true.
help, but there's the good energy and the bad energy. Like,
Just like when we were kids, you saw
yeah.
the angel on one
shoulder and the
Yeah.
devil on the other
It's true,
shoulder.
but
Yeah.
it's not like a cartoon. It's for real.
It's for real.
And depending on how you're acting, what your mood is, what vibration you're giving off at the moment, that's the one that's going to get through to you.
Well, do you ever have it happen to you where you're actually having a good day and you're feeling pretty good, and then just kind of out of nowhere, you'll just get in a bad mood? Like, I question myself. I don't let myself get caught up in that anymore. Like, I question myself, like, hey, what happened? What just happened? Did I hear something on TV? Did I run into someone with a sad story? Like, what happened to turn me, you know? And I wonder if it's some sort of
Well, you could question
influence.
yourself. Was it just what I just saw on TV, or was that what someone said? But if none of those things happen, you know, I don't know if I told you this. I don't know if I said it on another show or whatever. But the darkness is allowed to test itself against the light.
It is, all right.
So when you're going along and you're fine, you're happy, they're allowed to try to get you out of that mood. And depending on how strong you are, and depending on the kind of person you are and how close you are to your angels, when you have that thought, you say to yourself, where did that come from?
Right.
And then you say, angels, please help me.
And
help me get rid of this and help me
yeah.
to change my mood. That's what you have to really do.
Stop it from
That's right.
like the snowball rolling down the mountain. Do you know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like, stop it right away, because it's so easy to just
Yeah.
all of a sudden be in that bad mood and start taking it out on other people, and you don't even know where it started.
All the time
Yeah.
we're being bombarded
We are,
by
aren't
the
we?
light and the darkness, both. So,
Recognize the light, open up to the light,
right.
turn away the darkness.
Yeah. Just say no. You know that song, that saying, get thee behind me, Satan. You've heard
Yes,
that, right?
yes.
That saying. But in essence, that's what you're really saying.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I was watching I was a preacher on TV one Sunday, and she said, just literally say, you know, go away, Satan. Just all of a sudden, you know, something doesn't make sense. It's a negative thought that comes in. Just go away, Satan, and just keep doing what you were doing.
That's right.
Just shut them off, basically.
And they'll know when you say Satan, they'll know that you mean them. The demons, his little, how can I say, his little cohorts, his little, his court, his people,
Right.
the people who pay attention to him, you know,
Right.
and are the low entities, you know.
And then you can ask, too, for the angels to just
Oh,
take them
yeah.
away, right? Like, shoo them out
Yeah,
here.
you can
Like,
say
I don't
that.
want them around me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you lean to? You know, who are you going to call on? You know, you're going to call on your angels to help you, or you're going to think, oh, I can do this, and then you get worse and worse and worse. What are you going to do? Help is there all the time.
Help is there all the time. Make it quick, make it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can go about living your life. That leads into the next one. So he said the only way to fight it is to remember that these negative forces are defenseless against the source of all life, which is God or Christ. This is what he says. They are the abundance we need to be enough. It's so challenging, it seems, to get this message across in our current culture, you
Yes.
know, but so vital, I think, to feel good about ourselves and be happy. So how does one surrender to the divine powers? How does one surrender? He was talking about that, surrender to Jesus or to the Christ, or how does one do that? How do you surrender to God?
You know the Lord's Prayer? Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. All you have to say is what I say all the time. Father, help me open for your will to be done in me. I only want your will to be done in me. That's my prayer all the time. When I start going down with those bad thoughts or starting getting upset with my neighbor, getting upset with the news or something I see on TV, I'll get caught in it. I'll get caught in it sometime and I'll be angry and then I'll get depressed. Why did I do that? Why did I do that?
Right.
All right? So people are being fooled. Okay, just let it go. God will take care of it. You don't have to take care of everybody all the time, you know? Just, Father, what can I do? If I can do anything, let me know. Let me know. Whatever you tell me, your will be done. That's only the words you have to say. Your will be done in me, Christ. Your will be done in me, Father God. Whatever. That's all you say. His will.
So to be open, that's
Yeah.
surrendering, is to be open.
Open and say that and
yeah.
think that and feel it and wait for the answers. You know? If you're having a really, really hard time, get down on your knees if you're
Yes.
alone. And say, please.
Yes.
It'll happen.
So true.
And believe it. You have to believe it. You can't say, that's not. You got to believe it and you got to hold to it. I've seen too much proof of it on myself and other people who's I remember, I'll tell this little story. One time, quite a while ago, I was very depressed about something that happened in my life. And my cousin called me. And we started talking. I told her. And I told her, I said, I'm mad. I'm angry. I don't care anymore. There's no God. There's no this. And I was really, really, I was letting her have. She goes, you don't mean that. You don't mean that. Because she knows, yes, I do mean it. I'm sick and tired of it. I can't fight anymore, blah, blah, blah. And I said, and that's all I have to say. And I hung up. And I laid on the couch. And I laid there just in my self-pity and my anger, maybe about 10 minutes. All of a sudden, I swear to you, I swear to God, I felt like somebody had a blanket and they pulled it over me and covered me up. And I felt so cozy and warm and loved. I was like, this really, really happened. Well, and then my mood changed. I fell asleep. I woke up and I was so much better. I found out from my cousin. I told her, I said, you know, after I talked to you, you know what happened to me? She said, how are you feeling, you know? I said, well, after I talked to you, this is what happened to me. And I told her. She said, I was praying. I was praying so hard, and my prayers were answered.
Oh, nice.
So you see,
Yeah.
it can happen. You can do that for other people.
That's serving others.
Yeah, that's serving
Just
others.
praying for
Pray
people.
for them.
Praying for people is
I know.
serving others, yeah.
When you see somebody's in problems and they're having troubles, and I go home and pray for them. Pray for them every night in the morning for a while to help them to open for your will to be done. I don't know how to solve the problem. I could say, well, they could do this and this, but God knows so much more. So I always say, help them according to your will.
According to
And
your
help
will.
them to open for your will to be done. That's all you have to really do.
Right.
You don't have to sit down there and figure it all out. God's got that covered.
Yeah.
You know? So I have a
Yeah.
saying. I have a saying that I put up on Facebook. It said, let me see now. Let me say it right. I heard your prayer. Now, what did it say? I heard your prayer. Oh, I always forget that. I can't remember. Maybe it'll come to me before.
Yeah, you'll have to
Yeah.
bring it to the next show.
I know. Maybe I'll think of it before we finish
Yeah,
the show.
okay. All right.
All right.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right, so that's the wonderful good news, is that even though there's lots of negativity in the world, there's always God. And the light always wins, as you say.
Oh, well, definitely.
Always wins.
In the long run, believe me, it will.
Yeah, it
The
always
light,
does.
the truth will come out.
It's amazing, though, that the negative entities just don't give up now, like that they just keep
That's right.
going.
They
and
didn't give up
trying.
2,000 years ago
And
after
they didn't- and
crucified
they're not
Christ.
giving up now.
They've been going on this for, 2019 years now.
Yeah.
And they're still out there playing in the backyard.
Mm.
So, but one day, all the truth will come out. And then, they say, know the truth and the truth will set you free.
Yes.
That's what will happen one day. Regardless, you can take that to the bank,
Take it to the
as they
bank.
used to say.
All right. Let's see. All right. So he says to listen to the higher power and allow God or Christ to inspire you on your journey to recovery.
Say it again.
He says, listen to the higher power and allow God or Christ to inspire you on your journey to recovery, which is back home to love. How do we distinguish, though, between God's voice and negative voices? Is that tough for people? I mean, how do you know the difference? You're hearing something, because some things are obvious. Murder this person, no. You know what I mean? And
What would you think? What would you say would be a thing that you wouldn't understand?
So, the voice that you hear, the inner guidance that you're hearing. So you have negative energy always telling you something negative, right? But you have God telling you positive, loving thoughts. So, but how do people sometimes distinguish if it's not obvious? If it's not obvious what to listen to.
If it's not a positive thought, if it doesn't make you feel good to hear it, it's not from God, and it's not from your angels. That's all I can tell you.
Right.
People have to give themselves credit to know the difference. I wish I could think of an example, but it to me, it would be so obvious of what they're saying,
But I think people could probably be fooled, really, thinking, more, push everybody out of your way, just keep getting more, and thinking, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Why would they think that?
I don't know, but
Yeah, if they were thinking that, then they're not on the right path. I'm sure that those people are not on the right path.
It's going to be positive.
Yeah.
It's not going to have you hurting anybody
No.
else. The voice of God does not say you can have something.
Take it from him to give
Take
it to
to
yourself.
Yeah.
It's not going to say
The voice
that.
of God doesn't say
No.
to do it. That's not what it
No.
is. The voice of God is always positive.
It's always giving
and
a
always
loving way.
loving.
Yeah,
Okay.
always loving. If it's not a loving thought, if it's not a loving, giving, sharing
it's
thought,
not coming.
it's not coming from your angel. That you can.
Right. If you hear a thought saying,
he's
go
rich.
tell this
he won't
person
need it.
off.
Yeah.
Or he's rich. He'll never miss it.
Yep.
Anything like that. That's just the negativity coming in.
That's right. That's all that is. A thing that would be really hard, but it hadn't worked out one time. Somebody found a load of cash, like $500 all wrapped up. Just cash. Now, what do? If you report it to the police, do you not think the police are going to divide it among themselves? I don't know, but it's a thought. If you have a wallet and an ID, fine. You call the person yourself and you say, okay, and we did that. I found it once when I had a business at a gas station, and a man's wallet was on the ground. He had about $500 in there. And he had his ID, but he was in Florida, and he was from up the north. So I called his home up there. There was somebody answered and said he was in Florida. So she got a hold of him in Florida, and he came back to the station. He was so grateful. He wanted to give us money. And no. Why would you give me money for giving you back your money?
Right.
Why would you give me money for doing something that I should be doing anyway? Why are you paying me for being a good person?
It's appreciation, though.
Yeah,
I know.
It's nice of him to say that,
static,
but you got to stop them.
You
don't need the reward.
Right. But
I lost my dog. There's a reward. Okay, I bring the dog back. Here's $500 reward. No, I don't want the reward. This is your dog.
right.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Why would you let them pay you for bringing back what belongs to them? Think about something like that. It's like somebody said to me once, I was saying, I let that guy go through and he didn't even thank me. I hear that a lot, in the car. And my friend said, well, think about something. Why should he thank you for doing something you should be doing anyway? Do you need thanks for that? I said, ooh, didn't even think of that. So now whenever it happens, I go, okay, I got it. Really, think about it. So.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like the silent. God always knows what you've done. God, even when you do something and nobody knows that you did it.
God knows you did it.
God always knows that you did it.
Do you want your treasure on earth, or do you want your treasure in heaven?
It is recognized.
That's right.
It is recognized. So even if you
It's always
overlooked, and even if someone else takes credit for what you did,
Let it go.
It's just always God
let it
knows.
go. Let it go. We got to stop.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you have more questions?
This was so good. No, I think that was pretty much. I mean, we can always go on and on
I
and
know,
on,
I know.
so we can always do a lot, but I think that's pretty
All right.
good.
Okay, it went by so fast.
Yeah.
My goodness. All right, so we'll give our contact information. For me, Rosemary LaChance, it's 203-627-7966. My email is whitebuffalo8@comcast.net. My website, www.rosemarylachance.com. And the most important address, www.gabrielle-publishing-house.com, where you'll find all this information that I've been telling you on all my shows and in Hans' shows too. Okay, all the books that you need to read are there.
And you can check out my website at www.carlaaugustin.com. Also, please watch my show on YouTube. It's under Spiritual Invitation, or you can just type in my name, Carla Augustin, and all the episodes will come up.
Okay, everyone, we hope you enjoyed the show.
Yes.
And thank you,
for
Carla,
watching.
for your
Yes.
wonderful, wonderful help
Thank you
all
for
the time.
having me all the time.
Oh, I love you.
it.
What would I do without
Love
you? We
it.
wouldn't have a show. Good night, everybody.
Okay, good night.
Mwah.
Wash the journey from your hands. Feel the comfort flow inside you. Come this far, you understand.